So I literally don't know how to do this at all. I'm making like this whack video because everyone's asking me like about like my head stuff and all that, so I'm just gonna go over it. My name's Emma, obviously, because you probably clicked on this video from like my social media or whatever. I'm gonna like explain everything in like a timeline from what happened to now. I've been cheering since I was like 10, but I've cheered for 5 years. Like, this is my 5th season. I moved to cheer athletics after my 2nd season at my other gym. I was on Sassy Cats and I was a base. 2nd season, we were basing in a pyramid, and then I got like kicked in the head. But I was like, you know what, whatever, like shake it off, like push yourself, whatever. So I kept going, and like I kept tumbling and flipping and like impact over and over and over. And then I kept getting hit in the same spot in my temple, and the temple is already like a sensitive spot to be hit, and like that happened in like October. And I went to the doctor, like got diagnosed with a concussion or whatever, took my time out, and then I like kept getting more and more concussions until like I started getting like super dizzy. I was confused in school, like my grades were going down so low, like I couldn't walk straight, and like when teachers would look at me, they thought I looked like sedated. Like, that's what I look like all the time, and I got irritated so fast, annoyed so fast, like my mood swings were crazy. And I had like a constant fogginess in my head, terrible memory. Like you could give me 3 numbers at the beginning of class, at the end of class 45 minutes later, like I would be like, okay, what numbers are you talking about? I barely passed any of my classes. After it got like really bad, I went to a concussion specialist, and I took like the impact test or whatever. I never had a baseline test. So, and your baseline is basically just taking the same impact test but without a concussion. They compared my impact test with like other people my age, and I failed like bad. And like the 3% out of like 100, which is absolutely terrible. I just like did so bad at the doctor, and they're like, okay, like this is a bad concussion. And so I ended up having to quit Sassy Cats, which like sucked so badly. And then I took my time to rest, which was supposed to be like a long time. I didn't keep cheering. I just did like private lessons and stuff, so I didn't lose any tumbling or anything, because I was planning to try it again the next season, which was this past season. So I kept tumbling, like took maybe a month break, and I felt fine. And then the summer came around. I don't remember. I was basing again. I was tumbling again. I was fine. Like I was healthy. I felt healthy. And then I started getting like concussive symptoms again, and I was like, oh my god. So I took myself off of the team, like not permanently. I just said like, okay, I'll be an alternate, so if someone gets hurt or someone has to quit, I'll take their spot, or like I'll fill in for competition or something. But then I ended up being like a tumbler, so I just tumbled. I didn't stun at all because it was like too dangerous for my head. Throughout the whole season, I kind of started getting like worse and worse. This past year in 2018, I would like fall into like random depressions, or like I feel like I have anxiety. Like it's just like symptoms I'm gonna have, like I'm fine, whatever. And then I started getting super bad headaches. And these headaches were so bad I wouldn't be able to even turn to the opposite side of my bed whenever I was laying down, and I could not go to school. It's like terrible. I was so tired after school. My patience was like this small, and I'm like a really patient person, and I'd get irritated so quickly. I would be at practice, and I would like land a tumbling pass, and like everything would go black, or I would not know where I was, or I'd be so foggy, or like I'd be walking down the halls at school, and I would just like start crying because I didn't know where I was. And like nobody really took it seriously because I didn't tell many people, and I didn't take it seriously because I was like, no, like I have to finish the season, whatever. So I competed at NCA, and we won NCA in like March, like a month after NCA. I was at school, and it was like my symptoms were so bad. I was like, I have a concussion. Like I definitely have a concussion. So my Spanish teacher like saw how whack I was acting and forced me to go to the nurse's office. So I went to the nurse's office, and then they made me call my mom, and I just started like crying because I didn't really like know who I was, or like where I was, or like what was going on around me. It was 4th period anyway, so I like waited at the school day, went home, rested. I ended up quitting Sassy Cats because like it got to the point where I was like too scared to even go to practice because I didn't know what was gonna happen. Then I went back to the same like concussion specialist I went to the first time. There's a new doctor, and I took the same impact test, I did all these tests, and they're like, you don't have an active concussion. We think that you're just stressed and you have anxiety and depression. And you see, the funny thing about this was, we ended up getting into a huge argument about it, literally huge. I went off on the doctors, like, I was so mad, my mom was so mad. Worst doctors I've ever experienced in my life, and I'm not even gonna get on that because the thought of it just like enrages me. Ugh. I started crying because I was like, these people are making me feel crazy. Like, I know what's going on. I know what a concussion feels like. Like, I've been through all of this multiple times. Multiple concussions, 6 to 8, 6 at the very least. So we decided not to go to that doctor anymore. Suffering like 3 more weeks, and then finally my mom like randomly ran into these 2 women who like worked in the chiropractic business. Like head injuries and concussions are like their number one. So my mom was like, all right, like hold up. Like, let me tell you about my daughter. So my mom talked to them about me, and they're like, you need to get her in like right now. I went to the doctor a couple weeks ago, and I took like a bunch of different tests. They took a bunch of x-rays, a bunch of scans, nervous system test, muscle test, like heart test. And then I waited, and I went back the next week, and I got all my results back, and they're terrible, which is like, it's so scary. Like, what I found out, it's terrifying, and it makes me hate the original doctor even more because they had no idea what they're talking about, and I could have died because of them, but whatever. And so I'm gonna like insert pictures and like explain it and stuff. So you can see how like my whole entire body was affected, my nervous system, skeletal system, all my muscles, all because of the whiplash and like impact I got from all my concussions. I had like torn ligaments, a bunch of muscle deteriorating and like damaged, and a person's atlas, that is like where all the arrows are pointing to, that controls your spinal fluid, and I had a bunch of spinal fluid just sitting in my brain, which caused a ton of problems. And that's what caused a bunch of other problems with like my bones and like the scoliosis and my knees and stuff, all because like that bone was knocked like so far out of place. That happened, and then after I found out about all of that stuff, then I went back the next day. I got my atlas adjusted, and I came back the next day, and it was still in line, and my body was adjusting. So like everything hurt, like my joints hurt, my muscles hurt. I was so tired because my entire body was adjusting since it was like I'm so out of line. And I came back the next day, which was on like last Thursday, and they like actually set out my plan for me. I got my spine adjusted, and then my plan is like I go to this office every week. I get my like whatever I need. I get my body adjusted because there's like a long way to go, and then I go back and do my therapy, which is either like freeze therapy, laser therapy, heat therapy, like deep tissue massage, like whatever it is. I get that done, and I go every single week or more for the next year, and I won't be fully better for like a year, which like sucks honestly because I wanted to cheer and I want to keep cheering, but it like I'm like too scared to even practice or to even tumble, and it sucks so bad. But we're gonna hopefully get that plan so I get to like get back to normal. I'll probably like feel normal in like 4 to 6 months or something and be able to be like active, but they're gonna give me like exercises to do at home, like workouts to do at home, stretches, that kind of thing. But I do have to change like the way I eat. Not that I eat bad, but I have to like take supplements, eat certain things to help my body, because like the point where it's at right now is like not good. And I just like, I don't know, it kind of like sucks because I want to like be able to hang out with friends and do like fun things. And like what is like so annoying is that like I can't even do like simple tasks without like feeling some type of way, like putting away laundry. Like my heart starts beating like so like slow when I get so out of breath, and I get so lightheaded, and like constantly I feel like I'm about to pass out. And I like eat, I drink water, I drink a ton of water, like I'm always eating meals, like I'm a healthy person. I just like can't do much, or like I'm just so out of energy all the time. And like, if you know me personally, like I'm such an energetic person, and like it literally interferes with everything. Like interferes with me like battling myself like mentally and emotionally, and I don't even know why. It gets in the way of like friendships and like relationships I have, and like the other people don't know that, but like I just like feel that way, and I'm like so confused all the time on absolutely everything, literally everything. Like I'm so slow. So say like I look at you, or like I look at someone I know, and I know who they are, but I cannot recognize their face. It's like seeing a new face every single time. Like you could be so close to me, but I look at your face and I'm like I've never seen you before, but like I can put, like I know your name, I know who you are, but like I've never seen your face before, and like that is so scary. And like there's like a lot of emotional like baggage that comes with it, which like sucks, because like I said, you'll like fall into depressions, or then you'll be like super happy, and you'll be like depressed for like no reason, and you're like so depressed and you have like no idea why. And I'm like the last person to have anxiety or be depressed, but like I'm like constantly like so confused and tired. And like most of my friends don't like really understand that like, I can't do what they want to do, but I'm physically not able to do what they want to do. Usually have all good grades, like all A's, or like all A's and B's, but I try so hard in school, but I can't, like I'm failing classes right now when I'm trying my hardest. I can't understand anything, and I can barely get through a whole school day. Like getting through a whole school day is so hard for me, and I'm so tired whenever I get home. My head hurts so bad, but like I don't know, it's just like this close to a breaking point. But I'm so thankful that we found the doctors that we found, because they definitely know what they're doing, and they treat me like their own daughter, which is amazing, and they make me feel so comfortable. Like I finally know like what's going on with me, why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, and it's not like as scary knowing that like they can help me, and that like I can get over this, even if it does take a lot of time. I'm young, my body can heal way quicker now. It's a lot, but if you're wondering, that's what it all is. If you didn't know, that's what it all is. And yeah, it sucks, but I'll be fine. I am fine. I have great people around me, which I'm so thankful for. But yeah, I hope that was entertaining for you, because it's not entertaining for me. But yeah.